Hola, this is the Getting to Ramen podcast, and I'm Joshua Anderton. Hello. Man, so much going on, so much to talk about. If you've been following the Twitter sphere or my newsletter, my fairly new email newsletter, then you'll know that I am working on a new project with the legendary Justin Jackson. And I've been a big fan of Justin's for a long time. I'm a part of his online community, been there for a while, a couple years, I think, and also followed all of his podcasts and stuff. He's been a big inspiration, and he's also an early Upscribe customer. So we've kind of talked and gotten to know each other over the years, but here and there. And so, but I'm very excited to be collaborating with him in this way. So I'll continue to create updates here in kind of the solo format. It's funny, I've actually gotten some good feedback recently about this format, and where it is a little bit different to just have one person on a podcast kind of talking about what's going on in their head versus kind of the typical, what's common, which is having two different people, and I think that can be certainly more interesting at times as well, having the, two takes. And you'll also avoid this kind of digression that is currently happening as you're listening right now. But what I wanted to talk about in this one actually was just how much my opinion of what it's like having a co-founder or having somebody to work with versus going at it alone. So I'm gonna focus on that in this one, and we talk more about the new product and the new kind of in the story and everything on the Mega Maker podcast, which would love it if you go subscribe to that as well, Mega Maker 2021, and follow along. But on this one, I just thought I would kind of talk about what it's like going from being a solo founder for so long, or just like a solo entrepreneur, to all of a sudden having someone to collaborate with. And it's just been like, because I've certainly changed my opinions of it. I think for a long time, and if you go back and listen to Getting to Ramen, you can hear I certainly leaned more towards the camp of like, in this day and age, you can do it all by yourself. Like, we've got all this technology, we've got, you have all the resources to do it yourself. You don't need to have a co-founder. Why share, this big chunk of ownership in this thing that you're building when you don't have to? And I still think that, in some cases, in some businesses, for some people, it still works to go solo, or to start solo. But I think I've learned in this last season, for me, that, and especially after the last few weeks of working with Justin on this new thing, man, I just like it's just like night and day, the difference in just like all the pieces, like how much more it feels like we're getting done, and how much lighter it is just having someone else thinking about it. Like even just that, it's like when I'm with Upscribe, it's been up to me to have ideas, to have innovation, to have like 24/7. I'm the only one thinking about it, and if I don't think about it, no one else is, and that's stressful. That's heavy. And now this like sort of new calm, and like there's still a bunch of unknowns. We're still, like, a new business is always a risk, but just like the calm that comes with like, picking up my phone in the morning and seeing somebody had like some ideas or commented on something, or like, hey, we should do this. It's like there's someone else thinking about it. And so I don't have to feel that same pressure to be like everything for this product. And I mean, even more important, like, because his skill set is, he does the marketing side so well, the strategy, the product, he's thinking through the wording, and he's thinking through the use cases, and he's aware of, what people are saying in the space. And I'm trying not to give away too much about it, what it is yet, but like that piece too, like, so for example, for one of the one of the first days that we were working on it together, I sat down to kind of start writing down some ideas, and immediately got this anxiety that came over me that I get with every product. That's like, oh man, where am I gonna find a bunch of customers that I can start interviewing and start, like, I have to learn about this new market. Like, how do I become an expert at this? And then followed by this immediate, like, breath of like calm that was like, oh yeah, he's already got this. Like, Justin's already got this part, like. And so I feel like whenever it's possible, and I think this is, if you've been listening to the last few episodes, you probably have heard me talk about kind of coming to the end of myself and realizing what I'm poor at, what I'm not good at, and where my strengths are. And I think that if you're becoming an entrepreneur and you're going into this journey, you need to be painfully honest, brutally honest with yourself about what you're good and not good at. And there's nothing like that is an important skill to have, is to know where you fall short. In the beginning, if you don't have anyone that you can have if having a co-founder is an option, because obviously having no co-founder is certainly better than having the wrong co-founder, in my opinion. Yeah, actually, yeah, I guess I've worked on projects in the past with people where it just doesn't fit. And it just doesn't work. That's certainly not the right way to go. But being super aware of where their strengths are, so that you can, who would be a good fit to help, whose skills accent yours, and also personality types. Like, so anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this one, was just, and further to the part about, not picking the wrong co-founder. I think this opportunity came from me working as a solo founder and working really hard for a long time and in public. And, like, I don't know that this opportunity wouldn't have come up if I hadn't been putting myself out there and putting out projects and documenting it. And like, you got to get into it. And so it certainly shouldn't be another thing that's keeping you from starting is, oh, I need to find a co-founder. Like, definitely, I would definitely still have started by myself if I couldn't find anyone. But when it's possible, I'm not going to be going alone on another project in the future. Yeah, like I said, we go into more of the story on this new thing. So on the Mega Maker podcast. So I'm not gonna go into too much more right now. But yeah, I just thought I would talk about what that's been like for me. Everything, actually, I think my last episode, this is funny, the last episode was kind of me talking about needing, like, that I was going to start looking for someone like Justin Jackson. And actually, the day that I recorded that episode, the day after I recorded it, so I hadn't gone live, hadn't even been edited yet, he reached out about collaborating on something. It's just one of those hilarious coincidences. And yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm excited to be able to share more. I think we're going to release this new episode, the first episode, pretty soon here. And then, so that it'll probably potentially be out before this episode is out. So the next one on getting to ramen will be a little bit more. And yeah, I'm excited. I've been telling, like my wife and I both feel that no matter what, this will be a great learning experience. I'm really excited to get to kind of see how Justin works on a kind of on a different level, and see how he approaches starting a new thing and approaches market kind of practically. And it'll be fun to talk about that and share that with you all as well in the podcast format. So I hope you're doing well. Sorry if this is a little bit scatterbrained. It's I just put the kids to bed, and it's Friday night, so I was on a 4.5 hour meeting Zoom call today with like 6 other people, and they're wonderful people, and it was an important call, and we got through a lot, but it was exhausting. And part of that call was actually talking about how to reduce the amount of calls and time on calls. This is the classic. This is the world we live in. Anyways, so I am beat. So I'm very sorry if I'm a little scatterbrained here, but there's lots more content to come, lots more story, and I'm super excited to share what this does for me as an entrepreneur, what this, what how this new project will go, and also how this will all, kind of feed into the direction for Upscribe and other things as well. Like I said, I'm just trying not to say too much, but it's also just like I'm saying nothing. I hope you're doing well. Have a good one. I will see you in the next video.